I lost everything. Let the sky hold your pain. A story of inner healing. Part 1. The Mirror of Emptiness. Sometimes, the sky is not just the sky. It becomes a mirror, reflecting what is silently breaking within us. A gloomy winter afternoon, the sky draped in a heavy, gray hue, like a mirror reflecting the emptiness in my heart. The small room was silent, with only the ticking clock and my weary breath echoing in the stillness. Weeks had passed since the sudden event swept away everything I once held dear. My heart shattered like the cloud-filled sky that day, the day he left, taking with him unfinished dreams and leaving behind an endless void. Not long after, another storm struck as I lost a beloved family member. Two losses, one after another, swept through me like twin tempests, leaving me collapsed amidst the ruins of my emotions. I withdrew into four walls, hiding behind dusty curtains, eyes fixed on the bleak winter sky. Each morning I woke, the reality of my grief returned, colder than the mist outside. I felt like a faded shadow, drifting aimlessly through purposeless days. Part 2. When everything breaks at once. Some days, life gives no warning. It just quietly takes away everything, all at once, before we even learn how to let go. There were nights I woke in the middle of darkness, heart aching from memories crashing in, his final goodbye, the glance as he turned away, the phone call that brought devastating news. All of it blended into a slow-burning ache, gnawing at my soul. I felt alone and lost in my own life, like a traveler without direction under a starless night sky. On those days, I feared my own emotions. Instead of embracing pain, I buried it deep within. But the more I ran, the more the wound festered. I locked myself in the past, haunted by questions. Why did this happen? If only I could turn back time. The thoughts spiraled endlessly, like the gray sky above, stretching on with no ray of hope. Part 3. Running away doesn't make pain disappear. Sometimes we think silence is strength. But often, it's just how the heart slowly turns to stone. I was afraid to feel. Every time I faced the truth of my emotions, I felt like I was falling into an endless abyss. So I chose silence. No crying, no speaking, no thinking. I drowned myself in work, screens, and restless sleep. I lived in memories, in hopeless what-ifs. What if he hadn't left? What if I had called just a bit earlier? What if I had been strong enough to hold on? But what if was the tide pulling me down? I was like a swimmer in the current of the past. The more I struggled, the deeper I sank. Part 4. A small ray of light from an old page. Sometimes, it's not the loudest cries that wake us, but a quiet, forgotten sentence on an old page. One night, while rummaging through an old drawer, I stumbled upon a worn-out notebook. It was a journal from my university days, full of memories and inspiring quotes I used to love. Flipping through the yellowed pages, my eyes stopped on a line I had once bolded: "No mud, no lotus." Niet hand I froze. I had copied this quote long ago, but now it struck me deeply. That one line pierced through the darkness: suffering is like the mud, and mud nourishes the lotus of joy. For the first time in weeks, I wondered, could this immense pain be the soil from which I might be reborn, stronger, brighter? Part 5. A moment to cry, and to breathe. When we stop holding it all in, our tears can begin to heal us. I sank to the floor, eyes blurred with tears I couldn't hold back. How long had it been since I last cried? I had forced myself to be strong for so long, I'd gone numb. And yet, a single quote unraveled everything. I let the tears flow. And strangely, I felt lighter. Thich Han's words felt like a warm hand on my shoulder, gently whispering, "Pain is not meaningless, it is the mud from which the purest lotus blooms." Maybe I needed to learn how to sit with my pain, rather than run from it. Maybe healing doesn't begin by escaping the dark, but by seeing its value, just like the mud that nourishes the flower. Part 6. Beginning to see the sky differently. Even when the sky is still gray, our eyes can begin to see blue. The soft yellow lamp in the room seemed a little warmer. I closed the notebook and felt a quiet sense of relief. That night, for the first time, I cracked open the window and let the cold air rush in. I took a deep breath, trying to feel it filling my lungs. The night sky remained dark and overcast, but I told myself, behind those thick clouds, the moon and stars are still there, just temporarily hidden. And perhaps, deep inside my own heart, there are still flickers of light I haven't yet seen. With that thought, I brought my hands together and prayed, for peace to find me. Part 7. Acceptance is the first step to hope. Peace doesn't come when everything changes, it comes when we begin to accept what already is. I had lived in the dark for too long. And now, even the faintest light could stir my heart. I don't know how this healing journey will unfold, how long it will take, or what pain still lies ahead. But at least now, I'm no longer turning away from myself. Maybe this pain isn't meaningless. Maybe this is how I begin again, stronger, more real. I cracked the window a little wider. The sky was still gray, but for the first time, I felt my heart opening to a small ray of hope.